Hmm.
All right. Well, Happy New Year to all. Welcome to the January 4th, 2021 Rotary Club of Jamestown meeting. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America,
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
stands
One nation.
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty,
liberty and
justice
justice
for all. Please welcome Jones, who will start invocation for today.
Creator and sustainer, we are thankful for this wonderful day that you've given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. May we be challenged, give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Amen.
And visiting Rotarians and guests. We have our speaker with us. Anyone else is a visitor? No, that's Mike playing Kathy. And let's see anyone. Oh, it's great to see some members that haven't been on in a while. Wonderful. Let's repeat the four-way test. Let's think about this as we say it. Of the things we think, say, or do, number one, is it the truth?
It's the truth.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better
Friendships.
build goodwill and better friendships.
and will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right, announcements. Our Rotary Yours recorder today is Sue Jones.
No.
No.
It's Lynn Gruel.
Lynn Gruel.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Doing it.
All right. Any committee chair announcements? Guess we all took Christmas off, huh? All right. I see Michelle Woods is with us. Welcome. I received an email from Ken Lawton, and he sends his wishes to all of us, all of you, for a happy new year, and he can join us this year. Our midwinter wine tasting event is next Monday night. We have a few people, but not as many as I would like. So it's a cost of $68, and you can sign up on our website, Jamestown, New York, Rotary.org, under events. And you get to choose one of two boxes of 3 wines and the food pairings. And you can pick the box up on Saturday the 9th between 10 and 11 in the morning. I'll send you the address. It's on the west side of Jamestown. Or you can pick it up in Westfield if you're from the North County and would like to pick it up there. And then you tune in to that I will send you on Friday and a reminder on Sunday. And you tune into that 7 o'clock on Monday night, and we'll have a great event. You can also come to the event by just making a donation. You're not a wine taster, don't want to do that, that's fine. You can still go to the Jamestown, New York, Rotary.org/events page on the website and make a donation. I mean, it'd be great if it was 65, but it is a fundraiser, but donate what you can, and you can come to the event. Sherry's putting the information into the chat box right now. But we'd love to have whole batches of people there to help. This is our only fundraiser so far this year, Rotary year. We'll have our golf tournament in June, but this is the only thing so far. So like I said, I'll be sending out particulars about the pickup and the link on later this week. Something, anybody else want to add anything about the fundraiser? Thank you to Vicki, who's helping with the food pairings. Thank you to Steve Sandberg, who's helping with the, and Lisa Goodell, who are helping with the pickup. And to Sherry, who's been helping with the Facebook advertising. And to the Gazette, who ran an article for us and put an ad in. I want to remind you that the club is in need of a new treasurer starting in July. So if you can step up to do that for the club, that'd be great. Let me know. And another reminder is that the next 2 Mondays are going to be different. We have the fundraiser next Monday night, so there's no noon meeting. And then on the 18th, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we won't have a meeting that day either. So just to put it into your calendar. So please welcome Sue Jones, who will help us celebrate the January birthdays.
And seated by my side, in case I make a mistake, he'll poke me, is our foundation chairman, Greg Jones. You all know, that our birthday table is our way of continuing support for the Rotary Foundation, which is one of the finest foundations worldwide, very well respected. And what we do in Jamestown is on our birthdays, we ask that each member donate $1 for every year of their birth or year of their existence on Earth, or they can join the Paul Harris Sustaining Club, which is $100 every year. And after 10 donations, you receive your Paul Harris Fellow Award. And I have said this so many times, it's second nature to me, but I would ask you, invite you, if you have any questions whatsoever on how the foundation works or the donations, the donation process, please send a note to my husband and he will explain it to you far more than you want to know. So today we're celebrating the January ladies because all of our birthdays are ladies. On January 1st, an honorary member, Barb Wigley. Many of you, unfortunately, never had the chance to meet Barb. Barb's husband was a member of the club for more than 40 years, and Barb was our secretary, our paid secretary. She had an office at the former Key Bank building on 2nd and Main, and she kept everything neat and tidy and all of our information sent to the national clubs as quickly as it happened. Barb is now a resident of the Heritage Homes in Gary, where she and her husband made their home for the last several years. She was born on January 1st, and we wish her a very, very happy birthday. Unfortunately, I've written all of my notes in those silly lemon yellow pens, and I can't read any of it. Here we go. Okay, we'll try this. Becky Robbins, her birthday was yesterday, and her family was visiting. I know that because she's been very busy. Becky is married to attorney Dale Robbins. She is the communications coordinator of the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities. Yes! She attended JCC, Grove City College, and she has also taken courses at St. Bonaventure University. And she is a Paul Harris Fellow. She's a member of the Sustaining Club as well. Vicki Lee McGraw, her birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. She is the owner, operator of Elegant Edibles Catering. Many of you don't know that Vicki has her bachelor's degree in elementary education and got into her passion, which was cooking and catering. She attended SUNY Fredonia, and she is now into almost every home or every event in the community with her wonderful food. She's a Paul Harris Fellow in 2007 and 2020. Happy birthday. And then we have Joni Blackman, whose birthday is coming up on the 9th of January. Joni attended Jamestown Community College and Allegheny College. She is now the executive director of the Chautauqua County Association for the Blind. Thank you for doing that. And she is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. Courtney Curatolo her birthday is coming up on the 12th of January. She is the director of the Small Business Development Center at JCC. She attended American University, the Florida Gulf Coast University, and Florida Atlantic University. And she is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. Many of you don't know the history as to why we ask about your educational background, because there used to be this sergeant at arms right next to me who would fine you for anything that happened at your university during the week. So that's where that goes. Lynn Gruel, January 15th is Lynn's birthday, and she attended Denison University. She's a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. She used to be with KeyBank as a senior vice president. She is now a real estate agent, I believe. Is it ERA? Hello? Yes.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, I'm on mute. Thank you, Joe.
What agency are you with?
ERA Team VP.
Yes, I got it right. Thank you. You need to update your page. Okay, Kathy Benson. Kathy's birthday is on January 25th. She is among the missing, and now I know why, because she did update her page. She is the ACH operations specialist for Northwest Bank in Warren, Pennsylvania. So it really makes it difficult for her to get to our meetings. She attended Jamestown Business College. She's a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member, and she had received her first Paul Harris Fellow in 2014. And last but not least is Katie Geis, whose birthday is January 27th. She's the executive director of the Workforce Investment Board. She attended SUNY College at Buffalo. She's a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. She's a past president of our club 2 years ago, and she received a Paul Harris Fellow in 2019. And that does it for the 8th January ladies. And let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
Rotarians.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you.
And the winner of our free lunch is Courtney Curatolo.
Yay.
Thank you all for your donations. We appreciate it. And the Rotary Foundation appreciates it even more.
Thank you, Sue. Okay. Sorry, I'm just got a little distracted. Happy bucks. Anybody have a happy buck?
I do.
Hey, Vicki.
I just want to thank everybody for all of your cards and your messages and wishes. We've made it through, and knowing you all supported us really meant the world to my mom and my brother and I. So thank you to one and all. And actually, I have to sign off right now. My dad's interment is at 1 o'clock, so we're going to go to that. But knowing you all supported us really means the world to us. So thank you, one and all.
God bless you, Vicki.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Joni,
Yeah.
I have a happy buck. We
Go
were
ahead.
on a Zoom call with my mother. This is my siblings and myself, Saturday morning when the nurse arrived to give her her first shot. So we watched her and recorded her being vaccinated.
Wonderful. Now, where is she at? She's not local.
No, Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go visit.
No.
Okay. Anybody else have a happy buck? Well, I can put one in for being appointed the director of CBA Vision Rehabilitation Services or the Chautauqua Blind Association. I was, anyway, so now you all know. And that's why my cabinets look the same as Lisa's. Any other happy bucks?
I have one.
Yep, go Sue.
Come on, people. Go Bills. Put your money in. Support Western New York.
Oh yeah, if we were having lunch together, there'd be all kinds of people walking to the front of the room putting money in right now.
Of course.
Yeah, so who's got their tickets to go to the game?
I wish.
Anybody? All right. Well, not any other happy bucks. Am I missing anybody? Speak up. Okay, we got Becky.
Well, I'll speak up because I was lucky enough to have my family here, the kids and the one little grandson. And also, I'll put a happy buck for the Bills too. Go Bills!
Hey.
Wonderful. Yes, Michelle.
I'll donate $10. When past District Governor Bob Artis asked me to be assistant governor, he told me it wasn't a lot of work. And actually it's not. But there's a tremendous amount of information I need on a monthly basis to report back to the district. And it would never be possible if current President Joni and past President Sherry were not always so communicative and responsive in emails that I send out sometimes at the last minute when I realize there's a report due. So big kudos to the both of you. And it's evident why you have such a strong club. So thank you.
Woohoo!
Very nice. Thank you. I'm behind on that website updating stuff, but I'll get there. Yours not over yet. Okay, any other happy bucks?
I have one, Joni.
Okay,
Joni, my wife Pat, retired last week after many, many years as a registered nurse. So we're both in retirement now.
yay! Good for
Tell her
you.
congrats.
Will do.
Yeah.
I have another
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
to our district governor-elect, I guess is the proper term. Thank you to the district for this wonderful opportunity to update our website. Chris Anderson, Greg Jones, and myself were delighted to work with the young lady, and she just helped us with so many things on the website. Thank you, and please give that information to the rest of the district.
I will definitely do that, Sue. And I am so happy that each of the clubs in Area 16 took advantage of that. So way to go.
Well, it looks good. Real good.
Yep.
All right. Any more happy bucks?
Yes, I have a happy buck.
Okay, Greg.
When you look at the website, there's a lot of people who do not have their photo on their page. So if you update your page, and it's easy to upload your photo, and if you have trouble doing it, give me a call, or certainly Chris. But if you update your page, send me an email, and I will put a happy buck in for everybody who updates their page following today. Happy to do it.
Wow.
There you go.
There we go.
You don't know how helpful that is, really.
Thank you. All right. One more ask. Any more happy bucks? I don't see anyone waving at me. So please welcome Don Lloyd, who will introduce our speaker. And please mute your phone or your computer.
Me too?
No, not you, John.
Well, I quite a few years ago, I was appointed to the Chautauqua County Ethics Board by our former county executive, Vince Horrigan. This is a county appointment by the current county executive. And my term is up here the end of January, and I promised that I would find somebody with ethics who would like to be involved in the county ethics board. There are only about 4 meetings a year in Mayville. They promised me, in fact, another member of Rotary was involved with me at that time too. And we were promised that we would be able to meet in Jamestown a couple times a year, but that never happened. So maybe that's something that we can get moving, because another member of the current board is from Falconer. So, but it's been very interesting. We keep tabs on the county officials. We get statements from pretty much most all of the county people in county government showing they're cooperating with our board. So that I did talk to PJ Wendel about the possibility of meeting. I didn't necessarily want to dominate the meeting with the ethics board, but I thought maybe he could quickly explain the details that and why we need more people on this board. So I hope Paul or PJ Wendel is still with us. I don't see him here, but I know he was on earlier. Paul, are you with us? It's a little early.
Apologize. You think I would know how to unmute myself before I start?
Okay, there, very good. I thought maybe I was going to have to do that.
No, just like John said, one of the things for the ethics board, it's really important that we have oversight. We have a lot of different boards. A lot of people are appointed by myself or the county executive, whoever might be in this seat. And it's really important that we all keep things in checks and balances moving forward. The ethics board just did most recently have an audit that was very favorable. A few things to correct as usual, but the ethics board is really, one of the groups behind the scenes that really make sure that county government is, just like John had said, is being ethical, making sure that those who are appointed don't have any interest in the endeavors, and so forth. If we appoint somebody to the board, they don't have a vested interest in what we're doing or gaining some profit, those types of things. And it's really important that the board this year alone, the ethics board, has reviewed 342 documents, which says a lot. They do a tremendous amount of work. They do a great job. And we are looking for individuals. The group is dwindling, but it is a very key piece. And although one of the things I've learned is never to make promises in this office, but I will work diligently to rotate those meetings if it's more feasible. I know sometimes central locations are good, but I don't have an issue with, asking people to rotate around. But, the role is very important. Living here 40 some years now, everybody wants to be appointed to a board, but, I want to appoint people that are going to work and really do a good job. And John and many of others have done a tremendous job with the ethics board. So if anybody's interested, please contact my office. 753-4211. Amanda, who is the secretary for the ethics board, will take your information, and then I'd meet with you and look forward to sharing information as well. But it's really a vital part of I don't want to say controlling, but oversight with our boards and those people that are involved with county government. All right. Did you want me to continue on the job itself? I guess
No, I want, you have a lot of things that are happening this time of year now. So I thought maybe you'd give us an update on what's going on with the county. And I talked to Amanda this morning, and I hope she warned you that I was going to ask you to do that.
Certainly she did. Well, thank you. I guess to me, I don't know what you want to say. I know it was very complimentary to hear your impression of my daughter. It's a compliment. For what it's worth, I have a difficult time calling Mr. Lloyd John because as I was growing up, he was a parent of good friends of mine, so it was always Mr. Lloyd. So I still a hurdle at 50 years old trying to get over people that I grew up with, their parents, not calling them Mr. or Mrs. But I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. Last time I was here was a completely different situation. I was running for this office and was very humbled by the support I got from the residents of Chautauqua County. Things have not stopped moving in Chautauqua County. I was blessed and fortunate, as Vince knows, there's several privileges awarded, with all the hard work. But I was asked as the only representative from New York State to attend the Operation Warp Speed Summit in Washington, D.C. I can tell you that I supported the local bed tax, and following my quarantine is when I came home. I didn't come home. I was a resident of the DoubleTree Inn downtown for 4 nights and 5 days, fulfilling my quarantine. Just again, my wife was having a procedure in Sydney, as you may know, was leaving tomorrow for Spain. So I didn't want to come in contact with anybody until I was ruled negative, of which I was. But very fortunate enough to sit there with the Vice President, President Trump, and members of Congress, 4 sitting governors, governors from Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. Also listening to General Perna, and who, as Tom Reed has said, is a MacArthur of logistics. People would be amazed to realize what is happening with the vaccine process. This is the largest mobilization in U.S. history since World War II. What is no longer a box being transported by FedEx is now a transport vessel with a cargo bay, i.e. a styrofoam container sitting atop dry ice, capped with another styrofoam, and a transmitter and a thermometer. And they know where each box is, no matter where it is in the United States. So very impressive. But it's just impressive to hear and to be around, the White House and having access, as a tour early on. But learning what's happening with this vaccination process and just how in-depth things have gone. We have now started vaccinations here in Chautauqua County. One of the we're with our EMS providers now, the hospital staff, moving forward. So the vaccination process is moving forward. It has nothing to do, unfortunately, with anything other than we are meeting some hurdles as we move forward. The state wants to have a little bit more control and authority. My position, along with Mark Poloncarz from Erie County, and from east to west, north to south, have really urged the governor to utilize our local health departments, our LHDs, and the plans that they've had. I learned something from Steve Aquario, the executive director of NISAC, and it's know when to be quiet. I say know when to shut up. But it really means that, I don't know enough about vaccines. I don't know anything about vaccinations or how the process works. That's Christine Schuyler in the Department of Health. Well, that's Dr. Bernstein in Erie County. They're the wizards. They've planned for this. This is their Super Bowl. I have retirees that want to come back just to be part of this because they planned and they've worked for this the 20 or 30 years they were here with county government. They worked with H1N1 now with COVID-19. The vaccination process has started. It's a massive undertaking, but I feel very confident what we're doing here in Chautauqua County will lead us to the forefront. As far as other things, the airports, the airport, some people would argue is a little dormant. Well, to the contrary. We have a lot of activity going on at Chautauqua County Airport, the Dunkirk Airport, both. A lot of different economic opportunities that are arising. We do have Luscombe aircraft, as you'll see, is come into Jamestown. They're working feverishly on upgrading a hangar, bringing business to the county airport. One of the things that is coming out now is electric. Now, I know Vince Horgan, sat with his hair on fire behind the throttle of an F-15, but what they have now are electric airplanes. And the reason electric airplanes bring about a great deal of excitement is the operational cost for a regional airline is about $3,000 to $5,000 an hour. They have 12 passenger planes that are electric powered, and their operation cost is $30 an hour. So we think of how we can streamline the regional transportation here in Chautauqua County. There will be 2 charging stations. One is where the plane is based out of Watertown, New York. There's another charging station that is scheduled to be installed at the Chautauqua County Airport here at the Robert H. Jackson Field. So we're excited about that. A great deal of opportunity. We have an aircraft manufacturer moving into Niagara Falls that is going to produce an electric aircraft, and we will be serial number 2 for a charging center. So I think it brings a lot of opportunity here to the county as a unique coming in at the ground level of what we feel with Beta Technologies and others is going to be revolutionary when it comes to air travel. So really excited. Rose Aviation, we have an aircraft marketing group that's going to be selling aircraft out of the Jamestown airport. So it's incredible to see. You'll see some pretty impressive jets flying in and out, a lot of private jets. And they chose Jamestown. The owners originally from here. Really excited about the opportunity to come back and generate a business and more economy in our local airport. So we're moving also forward with the IDA. We have a couple of things in the pipeline. And one of the things I've learned was you don't talk about a project until you're signing the ink on the dotted line, because anything could happen. So we do have some things, really exciting things going on here in Chautauqua County. Mark Geis and his team with the IDA are doing a great job. We have consolidated our efforts. We did have an office with the planning department being in Westfield, economic development in Jamestown. They're now back under one roof in the BWB building. So planning, economic development are both sharing an office, which again is helping reduce our footprint as far as county goes with office space throughout the county. So I'm excited. 2021 poses a lot of challenges. I will tell you one small exciting thing is I do not have to write 2020. I can just write 21. Sometimes it sounds simple and minute, but it's just, I don't know why I had a hang up with signing that all over. But legally, I was told early on, if you put 20, they can add numbers to it and potentially could falsify the document. So little thing I was happy about coming into work today. Adding to the birthday list, my son, Bo, is 15 today. Again, I'm hoping he follows in Sydney's footstep. He really does like the international travel. So we'll see if he applies for an exchange program down the road. But, there's a lot of exciting things in Chautauqua County. I couldn't say I'm more proud to be leading our county at this time, just to see what we do as residents, how we unite, how we work together, how we overcome challenges and problems. A lot of exciting things have happened in COVID-19, and it may sound unique to hear that because there's a lot of negativity surrounding this, but we have found ways to work efficiently and effectively in county government, and we're going to continue that. We've seen there have been some questions we had with how do we use shared services better in the county. We've found some things we can work on moving forward. As you saw, we had a shared services agreement that was initiated by Vince when he was county executive. We're now looking at the second phase of this, and we're really round 2 and moving forward with some projects that had COVID not been here would have been a little bit more on the front burner, but because of COVID is one of those things that was there. But the questions and things we talked about have really proven that, yes, we need to do this countywide. This needs to be a shared service. So it's good that as we move forward with this plan, although we didn't get into it as deeply as Vince did when he was executive, we are moving forward with this plan, and I'm excited to see the opportunities we have coming forward. But, county government's exciting. Being the representative here, when I was in Washington, there were 9 of us elected officials throughout, and being one of 9 at the White House is pretty impressive as an elected official from county. So I'm excited to this opportunity and looking for great things. I feel our county is at the cusp of really a lot of great things that are going to revolutionize what we do here in Chautauqua County. This electric piece, Cummins Engine wants to move into heavy duty electric vehicles. Well, ironically, we're putting a touch with ChargePoint, another group that is charging centers throughout, and they work on solar panels. Ironically, Cummins Engine has a large solar array on top. So I'm really excited to sit down with Anna Dibble from Cummins Engine and seeing what opportunities we could now explore with electric here in Chautauqua County. So I'm excited. There's so many things going on in the county that's really very proud to be a county resident, but more so proud to be the executive, and very humbled by the support that I had during this last election. If anybody has any questions, feel free. I think that'd be Randy. Joni, I'll let somebody else take care.
Hey, PJ, this isn't a question. This is nothing but a thank you for everything you've done. Obviously, COVID could have taken over your entire life and your entire agenda, and I try to keep up the best I can from afar, but it's obvious that you have not let that be the sole focus on everything you're doing. And I certainly wish you'd pass along to Christine. I haven't had a chance to see her, obviously, but I tell you, I can't imagine what her days are like. And as a resident of the county, I feel so good about having her in that position.
Well, thank you. I'll pass it on. And really, Randy, it means a lot. I have a great team of people around me. I've been an athlete and a wrestler all my life from about the age of 7. And the unique thing that I relate to this is that, when I stand here or when I'm sitting behind the desk, it's my decision, and I have to live with that decision. And I know it's going to get, people are going to be angry, upset, but I've got a great team around me. And like the sport of wrestling, you have a great team around you, but when you're out there competing, it's just you. When a decision has to be made, it's just me. But it's also done with the support and help of teams around me. And I just can't say enough. And thank you, Randy, for that. Now, I have a team. My team is phenomenal. We work well together. I've got 3 doctors on my COVID response team: John Griffith, Emergency Services Director, Sheriff Quattrone. And then I have a finance team that's made up of Pierre Chagnon, our chairman, minority leader, Chuck Nazaro, majority leader, Jay Gould, our finance director, budget director, HR director, Steve with legal. So, I like having teams of people that gets the job done effectively, but I will convey that to everybody. Thank you. Sometimes, it was funny. I was in church on Christmas Eve, and our priest looked down and he said, "No talking of COVID and politics." And obviously you feel like he's looking right at you when he says that. And of course I did with me. And as I turned around, I had a couple of families pointing and said, "You better listen to Father Peter." I'm like, we did. And we had an agreement. We didn't talk politics or COVID until December 26th. Then it kind of came back up again. But no, I appreciate that, Randy. Thank you.
EJ, I'm just wondering about the vaccine rollout. Do you have some, I think that there's a lot of questions in the community on how many people have been vaccinated, how many doses are we getting, and what's our game plan for the next 30 days or 90 days or whatever number of days?
Well, I need to be very honest, and Lynn, I will be with this, but what I'm saying is not to come out across. It doesn't matter the letter after any name, but what's happened is we don't have a lot of control right now with what's going on as far as the vaccine goes. Our hospitals have received vaccine. The county has yet to. My wife is the office manager for the Chautauqua Center. The Chautauqua Center doesn't have its vaccine yet. Things are being hung up at some level. The concern I have is, why haven't we been planning for this? Our county has. Well, why hasn't our state been planning for this from June or July? It doesn't matter what political party you are. This disease doesn't know that, neither does a vaccine. But we should have been planning back when we knew vaccines were coming, and that hasn't happened. So we're still trying to, the governor's putting together regional vaccine hubs. They're working, but they're bringing in a completely different group. And you'll probably hear, if you haven't, there's been a lot of discord from our local health directors as to why they are not part of the problem. When I say, or part of the solution, when I sat down in my first couple hub meetings, local health departments were not involved at all. The governor wanted to bring fresh new eyes to look at this. Well, you know what? I've got eyes of a lot of great experts. Dr. Gail Bernstein in Erie County, Christine Schuyler in Chautauqua County, Dr. Watkins out of Cattaraugus County. And the reason I say that is Dr. Bernstein is well respected throughout the state. Dr. Watkins is the president of NYSHO, the New York State Department of Health Directors. So we have the best people in Western New York. Let them do their job. The concern we have, Lynn, is we don't have a continual supply of vaccine right now. That's That's the one variable that we are not able to, ascertain. We can have a great plan, but if our plan, we need to know what the supply is. If we're getting 5,000 vaccines a week, great. We'll adjust the plan to vaccinate 5,000 people. If it's 10,000, we'll do 10,000. Right now, it's question mark. Some people have 900, other people are getting 200. It's very challenging right now. The hospitals are being inundated with the COVID crisis already. Then to be asked, and really not even asked, it was thrust upon them to be vaccination hubs. They started. They're redirecting some of their vaccine to us so we could help get the people vaccinated. What's a concern is they want to go through step by step. So phase 1A will get vaccinated. They said they won't start phase 1B until all of phase 1A is vaccinated. So does that mean we wait 21 to 28 days? That really doesn't make a lot of sense logically if we're trying to mass vaccinate millions of people in the country. But the 1.3 million people in Western New York, with 130,000 here in Chautauqua County. Capability, just picture this. If we were getting 4,000 to 5,000 vaccines a week, we know that we could potentially utilizing Fredonia State. You can walk into their ice arena, you can get vaccinated. You must stay on premises for 15 minutes to make sure you don't have an anaphylactic or an allergic reaction. You could walk into Steel Hall, you can sit there socially distanced. When you're done, you can walk out. We could really pump people in and out. The plans are there. What we just don't know right now is the supply of vaccine. And nobody knows that for sure. And that's our concern right now. The president could invoke the Defense Production Act. Whether it's President Trump, President-elect Biden, I don't know who's going to do it. We should be doing it right now because in order to get this vaccine out to hundreds of millions of people, we need to have a massive effort. And I could tell you we're ready to go. New York State passed legislation that EMTs and paramedics can help with a vaccination. I'm an EMT. I'm going to be going through the training and vaccinating first responders, and we're still trying to get through all of the first responders in that first group, along with healthcare workers. So I have not received the vaccine yet. I can tell you I've been offered as an EMT, but I'm not able to respond to as many calls as I have in the past, one, because of my position. So I'm going to forego that until later on. When that's going to be, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not looking for fanfare. I'm not asking. I'm just saying we need to get the people that need that vaccination first. And that's really important. So, unfortunately, we could probably spend hours, but, we're just uncertain. The plans are there. We're just not certain where, what the vaccine supply will be. Today, a little bit later, you'll see there will be posted a PowerPoint from Dr. Zucker explaining a lot about the vaccine, answering a lot of questions the community may have. First and foremost, this is not a live vaccine. So if you get the vaccine, it will not be a live virus like we do with the flu or other vaccinations. So I'll leave the technical information up to the slide because I understood it, but I don't want to say anything here and misguide anybody or misinform. But we will be getting that up on my webpage today and the county web pages as well, and ask residents to please look at that. And I believe it'll answer a lot of questions people have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question? Yes, Michelle?
First, thank you so much, County Executive Wendell. I think the information that you've been giving to the public since day one during COVID has helped and eased minds tremendously. So of great appreciation for that. My first question is, any movement on Athenix in the North County as far as start dates or anything of that nature? And then my second question, and this might be more of a Christine Schuyler question, but with the contract tracing, when someone tests positive, county gets the positive information, and then they ask for all the names of people that you've been in contact with for like 14 days prior. If someone tests positive at a hospital, or most particular at this point inside of a nursing home, is that same contact tracing procedure followed?
In a nursing home, that is followed by the state. The state oversees all of that because really they should have a finite group of people, unfortunately, without visitations. But the state does handle the contact tracing there with that. One of the problems we're finding out right now is that several places offer rapid testing. So even well now in urgent cares, and New York State has what they call the Eclair system. So it takes a while. Once they upload that information, unfortunately, there's a lag. So we're getting people that get a result in 15 to 20 minutes, and it's a couple of days later until they're contacted. So between the county and the virtual contact tracings, they are on top of that, but there is beginning to be a lag. And one of the things that concerns us is even with the state contact tracers, a lot of them are being redirected now for the vaccine. So that's a question we have too, is how are we going to be able to stay on top of this? Really at this point, your number of contacts, if people are listening, should be very minimal. One of the things, and I hope you all stay seated when I give you this information. But over the weekend, Christine told us we were looking at over 700 new cases of COVID-19 in our county. Very concerning because I don't know what else I can say. I've shared the same message. People are saying, well, you can do what you like. The problem is when you do that, it has an impact on everybody in Chautauqua County. Dr. Falk, one of my team, said today, he goes, people come in and they're test positive, and I look at them. He goes, I can see the look in their eyes that they said with deep sorrow. I didn't think this was going to happen to me. I didn't think I was going to get it. I only had my mask off for 10 or 20 minutes. It was family, right? We're not seeing clusters at Walmarts and Wegmans and all these other places. What we've done is we've come inside. We're sharing the love of the holidays with our families. And at the same time, it's spreading COVID-19 rapidly. I can tell you, I know two people, very healthy individuals, both ended up in ICUs. One ended up with a heart attack. Pinpoint directly from COVID, hard to say. But the doctor said COVID was an attributing factor to the heart attack because there are clotting concerns. And we don't know how this affects people. I've had pneumonia twice. Will it affect me different? I am healthy. I work out every day. It could affect me much differently than it could affect somebody who's half my age, morbidly obese with other issues. We don't know. And that's a concern that I've been sharing with people. So, Michelle, the same thing. I thank you very much for that information, but I'm sharing, straight up. People said, what are you going to do about this? Aside from locking people, I can't do that. The governor right now, there's legislation to detain individuals they feel are a public health risk. Who are those people? Walk down the street. We don't know who they are. It's not like the days of old where, we know there's an infectious person and they're going out breathing and sneezing at everybody. These are our loved ones, our relatives, our families. So I'm going to urge people again, maybe a little bit more stern is if anything happens, it's a result of what we've done or what you've done as residents, what you've listened to or what you haven't listened to. My circle's pretty small. It's my family. People do see me at Wegmans with my mask on. A lot of times I have two masks, I'll admit it. But I'm very limited as to what I do. And I don't respond to many fire calls. And there may be a criticism of that, seeing as how I touted my experience of 32 years in the fire service. But I need to lead by example. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Interested to see how the reaction is going to be with over 700 new cases. And the other side of that, though, what people don't see, and I've been trying to put it out there, but believe it or not, I've gotten criticized that I'm too positive in my messaging. I need a little bit more negativity. I don't really agree with that because my information is honest and forthcoming or forthright. But we're seeing a large number of people. Christine gave us those numbers today. We may have had, and what we've seen over other weekends, we have 300 new cases coming in after the Christmas holiday. 297 new cases, 332 cases fully recovered. So in the data, we were ahead of the game. More people recovered than tested positive and were sick. So we're keeping that in mind, but this is up to all of us. The ball's in our court as individuals, as residents. If there's anything you could tell your families, stay safe, stay home. Like Sue said, man, only in Buffalo could you have the Bills have a phenomenal season and nobody can see it. But with that said, again, hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue lost. I talk to County Executive Poloncarz all the time. But with that, I also heard a lot of people saying, you know, we're getting pause complaints, 30, 40 people at a house for a Bills party. Yeah, we need to get to work on this. We have our work cut out. We're going to continue our diligence in getting the message out. But if anybody you hear, please tell them, you know, stay away, stay home, because you don't know what's going to happen if somebody gets us. I don't know what will happen to me. I don't know what will happen to my family. I know if you don't get it, you're pretty safe. So we'll keep pounding that message. Wear your masks, wash your hands. I mean, I've got 3 different bottles of you know, I blow my nose. I've got my hand sanitizer. I keep it around all the time. In my office, we all wear masks and our doors are closed. If we go out into and Vince knows, if I step outside into the main lobby, I have my mask on, and it's not a far walk. It's only about 6 feet. But you know, we're doing our job here in my office in the county to keep everybody safe. So
I think the concern is that there's been a very large outbreak at the nursing home in Dunkirk. Of course, with no relatives have been seen there. So it's obviously coming in from the staff, but loved ones aren't getting the messages, you know, that so-and-so had contacted, or a positive staff worker was in contact with your relative.
Michelle, if you could forward that to me, you know, with names, because one of the things that is part of that information is getting that out to the residents or the family members of the residents. Some places have been very diligent about getting that out. The new thing in Dunkirk, if it's, could contact me offline too. There's a couple of places that's just now emerging. And there've been a couple of clusters. We've had clusters. The Frewsburg numbers have been of Magnolia. We have the state's been involved in that, just like they were with Tanglewood. And I'm sure that whatever nursing home in the North County, there's a cluster the state's going to be examining and inspecting that establishment as well.
Thank you.
The county website, PJ, only quotes 418 new cases as of today at 12:36. Do you think that's 700? What was that 700 number?
There's that information. If you look at the number, that information may be a day behind. So that may be the information that came out yesterday from the very beginning.
Yeah, January 4th at 12:36.
Right, but it may say data from January 3rd. I'll double check with Christine. So the dashboard is a day behind. And that allows us to make sure the data that we get is correct. One of the things that goes out just to help a little bit is it's a dump. So I tell everybody, imagine taking all of your laundry and dumping it on the kitchen table. And then you've got to fold and pair and get everything the right way. That's what the state does. It's a data dump. So our team goes through and scrubs and gets all that information. And because there's such a massive amount of data and the way that it's fit into that new dashboard, it flags a day just to make sure that it's completely correct when it goes out to you guys. So
I see that it was 12:36 a.m. on the 4th, and this was information the 31st and the 1st and the 2nd. So it does not include yesterday. So you're saying that there were probably about 300 yesterday.
Yeah, that's what Christine talked to me. She told me the numbers this morning.
Okay.
So unfortunately you'll probably see that reflective in tomorrow's dashboard.
Tomorrow numbers. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Hey, PJ.
Go, Chris.
PJ, I also noticed on the New York State COVID dashboard that our positivity rate is almost at 20% now with all these new cases. So where does that kind of leave us in terms of when things get shut down, what zone we get put in? Sure.
Well, one of the things, when we look at zones, we're looking at zip code areas, unless something drastically changes. And I spoke to Lieutenant Governor Hochul at our last control room last week. It is not a countywide situation. So we would look at zip codes with our largest rate of infection. Right now, those areas are Dunkirk, Jamestown, Fredonia. Frewsburg was up high on that list as well. We're waiting every day. We're in constant contact. The state's numbers don't always align with ours based on the state is looking at, again, part of that data dump. So they have every positive case that comes into New York, Chautauqua County. Some of those may be repeat positive cases. Some people are being tested frequently. So there's a lot of I don't want to say misinformation, but it's not 100% accurate. County Executive Poloncarz has been leading some informational points about that. So I have to check exactly. I know on Thursday when I left, not that it's a very alarming rate, but our positivity rate, I think was 7-day average was 10.7. So again, you have to look at the number of people being tested right now are more symptomatic. We're not testing asymptomatic. The free testing of anybody who wants to come in and get tested has starting to dwindle off because people just aren't coming in and getting tested. Those who are being tested are people that are symptomatic. So again, if you test, same thing, Chris, simple math, if you're testing, 100 people and 20 of them are positive, there's our positivity rate of 20%. So what we need to look at those rolling averages, the rolling 7-day average. Some days we have a higher percentage, some days are lower. But again, we've shifted a little bit now. We can't, without forcing people to be tested, people are going if they're feeling ill. If they're not ill, they're staying home, they're not going out, they're not getting tested. So I can't explain, unless we say everybody go out and get tested to keep the numbers down. And those are the things I don't want to say we fight with, but those are the things we struggle with the state in that reporting is people say, oh, you've got a 20% infection rate. What are you thinking? That's not 20% of our 130,000 population here in Chautauqua County. That's a percentage of those individuals being tested. So that's, again, it's going to be skewed on the number of people tested and who test positive. So it's difficult. And it's been something we've been challenged with from the beginning. But that's where those numbers lie. The state's numbers are a lot of times higher than ours based on they don't scrub that data. They take the tests as they come in and they're posted in eclairs. We then go back and, some people, interesting facts about this, older people will test positive for a longer period of time. We had some people that have tested positive for over 28 days, just because it picks up very small molecular strands of the virus as you're shedding it. And those over the age of 60 tend to shed a lot longer. You're not positive. You're not contagious after 14 days, but they can shed virus. Again, we've seen here in the county up to 28 days. And that's a burden on some of the occupations of our hospital beds is the governor's requirement of not going back until you've had those 2 negative tests. They're not contagious, they're not symptomatic, but they're not able to pass that test because, we don't, it's a complexity of testing, but we don't know exactly how much virus they're shedding. It just shows positive. So, they stay in the hospital. So it's a complex factor, but again, we're getting the information out as best we can. And that's why I urge everybody to look at the county dashboard. That's the most accurate and up to date. What comes into the state is just what goes into eclairs, and it's a larger, it's not scrubbed or cleaned, and we haven't got out the repeat tests and repeat positives, et cetera.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? But we're running out here. Thank you so much, County Executive Wendel. It's very interesting. We appreciate your hard work in this difficult time, and we know it's going to continue.
Thank you.
Donation to the Rotary International Polio Plus Fund is going to be made in your name to help eradicate polio around the world.
Thank you.
And in our lifetime, we hope. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, TJ. Good job.
Thank you.
Remember, everyone, there's no meeting at noon next week. It's at 7 o'clock. And so join us for the wine tasting event, whether you choose to partake or just be involved, that's fine. That's 7 o'clock. I'll send you the link by the end of the week. And remember, Rotary opens opportunities. What opportunities will you see in your community, in your life this week to make it a better place? Thank you, and we're adjourned.
You sound sharper than I thought it would be.